wolf child, for that is my name.
Hey, welcome back to Rock Stardust. My name's Robbie, and today we're looking at the wolf child in Astbury, the awesome lead singer and frontman for the Cult. And we're going to look at his alter ego, the wolf child, very much influenced by David Bowie's Ziggy Stardust character. And he took that on board moving into that Electric album, you know, as a way to create a persona that would allow him to overstep the boundaries to a point, cross those lines without having to make sensible sort of decisions, is what he said at the time, you know. And it became his character that he took into the studio when he was singing, and very much on stage and off stage at that time. They were pretty wild times. But hey, before we get into that, please do remember to like and subscribe. You know, really appreciate that. It helps grow the channel. Those that have, thanks you so much. Leave your comments in the comment section, and that'll be awesome. Cheers. So Ian had a pretty rough sort of upbringing. He lost his mum when he was just 17 to cancer and that sort of thing, and you know, had some other issues and stuff there, like getting through that. He even joined the army for a month, so he was really trying to find himself, and you know, obviously, you know, got underway with that with when he met Billy Duffy. That was a key turning point, you know. So his influences were very much, you know, David Bowie, The Clash, Joy Division, you know, the Sex Pistols, bands like Led Zeppelin, you know, that was his thing. So, but, you know, really what sort of kicked things into gear, you know, when they did that Love album, the first signs of that whole, you know, thing with the wolf and that American Indian sort of, you know, inspiration was really that track, Brother Wolf, Sister Moon off Love. So that was the first sort of example of it. But going into Electric, which was a real shift, you know, from that more psychedelic dreamy sound, semi-goth sound, to a hard rock, you know, to the floor, hard out sound, which is reminiscent of, you know, AC/DC and Led Zeppelin to a point, you know. There was a shift there going into that rock sound, and on Electric he really introduced that wolf child, you know, Call Me Wolf Child. So that's what he was referring to at that time as well, as, you know, it was pretty wild times, but, you know, he liked to be referred to as Wolf Child, and that real persona that's where it really began. And, you know, and on that album itself, you know, there was a B-side to Love Removal Machine, which is a far out, it's a freaking good song, you know, like that's a real rock blues raw, you know. Billy Duffy's guitar is insane, and Ian Astbury really does, as he often describes, his voice howls like a wolf. It's that, check that out if you can look it up on YouTube. That's a sort of one of those rare gems of a track. So, you know, Call Me Wolf Child, just Call Me Wolf Child. That's yeah. So the song Wildflower really kicks in that whole wolf child, you know, persona, and that's where he's calling it out too. You know, I'm a wolf child girl, Carl, and for you, Wildflower. That's amazing. And that's that, you know, real classic Ian Astbury delivery. It just kicks ass. Like My Little Devil was also got that real raw rock feel, you know, and that's that Rick Rubin feel that he brought to the game there, with the sound. But, you know, My Little Devil was apparently about when he was in his younger years, had you know, was a bit boozed up and had a bit of a a meltdown. And so that was a dark sort of imagery of a time in his life, that song. But looking at the wolf child thing, wolf children are children who are accidentally or intentionally left out in the wilderness, and there have been examples of this, and they were actually raised by wolves. That's really fascinating, and if you look into that, if they get assembled into humanity, they struggle, because they've been raised by wolves, and it's they actually have all the mannerisms and howl and everything like a wolf. So yeah, that's interesting. But that whole Native American thing for N was huge, and the American Indians saw the wolves as not a foe, but as a teacher, to teach them about loyalty, courage, and insight. So that was really interesting. So that cover on Electric really celebrates the persona of the wolf child. Within there, he's got the long black hair, bare chest, fur cap, and it's got a white, silver skull and crossbones sort of embroidered on it. And that image too, when I first got the album, it really sort of gave you that feeling of that whole, American Indian chief vibe. So it was fascinating. Sonic Temple, the next album came out after Electric, really carried on their momentum. At that point, they became like one of the biggest bands in the world. They were Guns N' Roses supported them. They were huge, and the music was fantastic. Like, looking back, they're one of the absolute classic bands. Like, and the uniqueness of Astbury's voice, there's nothing like it. There's nothing like it. And they had some great. It was a great band. Billy Duffy's guitar playing was awesome. You had Matt Sorum on drums there. He ended up going to GNR, but on Sonic Temple, that theme continued on. Songs that sort of really stand out to me. American Horse, with that whole American Indian thing. Firewoman, with a strong reference to the American Indian spirituality. It's a powerful, symbolized by the woman, but all power, and they really did cross a lot of amazing boundaries. But that persona is one of the really fascinating ones to me, along with clearly, the Ziggy Stardust Bowie character, which I've already done a video on, so check that out in my videos. But hey, hats off to the Cult, man. They're still out there performing now. I'm thinking of going and seeing them on this latest tour. They've got a new album coming out. That's what it's all about. Carrying on, carrying the torch, but they still make great music, and their live shows are still very powerful, and N's voice is still strong as ever. So thanks again for watching Rock Stardust. Catch you next time. Check out that Wolf Child B-side. You can check it out on YouTube if you haven't already heard it. It's the B-side to Love Removal Machine. That is just amazing. And we'll see you next time. And remember to please do like and subscribe. It helps me grow this channel. And you can get all the latest updates. So leave your comments in the comment section. We'll see you next time. Cheers.